At UFC 319, two warriors will collide in what promises to be more than just a physical battle. This is psychological warfare at its finest. On one side, the reigning middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis. On the other, the undefeated Chechen destroyer Khamzat Chimaev. But du Plessis isn't just preparing for a fight, he's preparing to expose what he believes is Chimaev's greatest weakness. The question that's driving this entire narrative. What happens when the unstoppable force meets his first real defeat?
I think after Saturday night, it's going to be time to go and maybe do some introspection saying, how are we approaching this? Because I don't know where he's at on a mental level.
Du Plessis speaks from experience. His loss to Roberto Soldic in 2018 was devastating, but it became his greatest teacher. That defeat forced him to rebuild from the ground up, to examine every weakness, every flaw in his game.
I've tasted my first loss, I know what it feels like, it sucks. It really sucks. But that's where your character comes in. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets up from this.
Khamzat Chimaev has built his entire identity on being unbeatable. Every victory has reinforced his belief in his own invincibility. This supreme confidence has been his greatest weapon, allowing him to impose his will without hesitation. But we caught a glimpse of vulnerability against Gilbert Burns. For the first time, Chimaev looked human. Du Plessis sees this as the blueprint. He believes that armor can be cracked, and once it is, the psychological damage could be irreversible. These fighters took vastly different paths to this moment. Du Plessis grounded out in regional promotions, facing setbacks and slowly building his resume. Chimaev burst onto the scene like a meteor, achieving in months what takes most fighters years. One man's character was forged in the fire of adversity, the other has only known the intoxication of dominance. At UFC 319, these philosophies will collide in the most violent classroom imaginable.
There's no way you're becoming world champion while I'm the champion. It's going to be interesting to see.
Chimaev remains convinced of his destiny, already talking about fighting again in October after winning the belt.
Abu Dhabi's in October, right? No, that's not happening.
One man believes adversity creates champions. The other believes he's destined for greatness. On Saturday night, we find out who's right. This isn't just about who's the better fighter. It's about whether an undefeated record is a strength or a weakness waiting to be exposed. At UFC 319, Dricus du Plessis plans to give Khamzat Chimaev his first loss and his most important lesson. The question is, will the student be ready for class?